Hey, hey, beautiful and lovely Lelaine. I just recently found out that that message that you sent me was actually from you. I mean, I didn't actually believe it at first, but when I found out that that message was actually from you, I mean, I was just so ridiculously happy I was doing cartwheels. Lelaine, on that message you sent me, you told me thank you and you appreciated me, but to tell the truth, the gratitude is all on my side. Because, Lelaine, I mean, you've been a big inspiration to me, and just by you being who you are, you've been an encouragement to me, and just, I absolutely adore you, and I thank you, Lelaine. I thank you for you being you, and I checked out that little funny YouTube video you did where you're dancing to the music and everything, and you look so cute and adorable. I mean, had that big Marilyn Monroe tie on. My dad was a big fan of Marilyn Monroe, and Lelaine, your personality is just so magnetic, and you're so funny, and Lelaine, every single time I see you, I think you're more beautiful and gorgeous and adorable than ever before, and to be perfectly honest, I've just completely and utterly fallen for you. Lelaine, I also saw you in a clip of that band you're in, Vanity Theft, and you know, you were very good in that. Every single thing you endeavor, you're good at. I noticed on the one clip you were like skateboarding in it, and I've seen you play basketball good and stuff. I mean, you're a very talented girl. I mean, just everything you do, you're so talented at. I am so sorry that I haven't responded or been able to get to these YouTube videos for a long time, but like I said on my last video, I won't have internet for a while, and you know, partly because, you know, I want to get one of those like cell phone like type internet things, and you know, because I figure that'd be more practical, and you know, having the other type of internet as well as a phone or something. But also, you know, I kind of went through a phase where I was just kind of real bummed out, and you know, this real bad kind of funky depression. Like, you know, I really miss my dad and everything. It's been pretty hard on me, and I'm sorry I haven't you know, kept up with what was going on and everything on the internet, or you know, checked out my site. But believe me, Lelaine, I've been keeping you in my prayers every day. I think about you every day, and I always pray about you. And Lelaine, you suggested for me to follow you on Twitter, and I'm definitely going to try to do that. I'm going to try to figure out how to do it. I don't really know too much about things like that. I had to ask a friend on what Twitter was. But anyways, I definitely want to follow you up on that, because I want to know what your hopes and dreams are and what your concerns are, because I want to spend as much time as I can praying for them. Finally, I got to see your movie Royal Kill. And oh man, you were so good in it, Lelaine. I mean, I enjoyed that, and you know, I know the critics kind of didn't say the best about the movie and stuff like that, and you know, I kind of understand why, because it kind of reminded me of like a Stephen King's movie. Because if you ever notice, you read a Stephen King's book, and it's like, oh, this is a really good book, but then they make it into a movie, and it's kind of, you know, not all that great. And the reason why is because it has Stephen King books have complex, you know, psychological plots. And anytime you try to put a complex psychological plot into a movie, there's a lot of problems. And in fact, especially if it's a short movie, like your movie Royal Kill. Because the thing is you get like Stephen King's book, The Stand. I mean, they had to make it in what, like a 10-part series, you know? And even then, it still wasn't as good as the book. And Lelaine, to tell the truth, whoever wrote this movie that you were in, I think they would have been a lot better off if they would have made it into a book first and then made it into a movie later. I think there was certain things that could have been improved about the movie. Mainly, I think that the character Jan should have been expanded upon, because you know, a movie is supposed to be about something. You know, it's supposed to have a specific thing that it's about. You know, a point it's trying to get across. And in my personal opinion, Lelaine, that point that it should have been trying to get across should have been centered on the character Jan, because I think she was the real heart of the movie. The way you portrayed her, Lelaine, which you portrayed her very well. I mean, you portrayed a gal who, you know, I mean, she had a pure heart and a great deal of love for her father. And it's like all through the movie, every situation she could get a chance to try to get in touch with her father, she tried to. You know, she tried to call him up on the phone and everything like that. And you know, you just portrayed a gal who had a pure and beautiful heart. And it kind of makes me think about you know how I study history like crazy and everything like that. And there was this one time, and there was this young prince who was conquered by who his and his family was captured by Cyrus, king of Persia. And Cyrus told this young prince, asked him, what would you give me for your life? And the young prince said half of his wealth, which is pretty bold. I mean, somebody saying, hey, I'm going to kill you, and but I won't kill you if you give me something. Now, if it was me, I'd say everything, But no, this prince, he was bold. He's like, half of my wealth. I ain't going to, bend that much. I'll give you half of my wealth for my life. But then King Cyrus asked him, what would you give me for the life of your children? And the young prince said, I will give you everything I own. But then King Cyrus asked the young prince, what would you give me for the life of your wife? And without hesitation, that young prince said, I will give you myself. And, Lelaine, that young prince, he realized that, being a powerful prince or whatever he was, and, that didn't matter as much as a strong focus on family. And, he probably would not have gone down in history if it wasn't for the fact that he just had love and devotion to his family. And, as you watch that movie, Lelaine, with your character, Jan, her family was everything. Her family was small. It was just her and her father, but it was her family. And, I could definitely empathize with that because, until recently, my whole family was me and my dad. It was a small family, but it was a precious thing. And, Lelaine, how your character, Jan, you played her very well. And on that one scene where, she found out that character Adam was, a psycho, and he turned evil, and I didn't want to see it because even though I knew it was fictional, just seeing some gal, betrayed by you and everything, being hurt, it just tore my heart apart. But when he, picked her up and put her on that piano, and as she started to feel her life, go away and everything, and to leave her, and she called out Dad, and your sweet and lovely voice, and you way you express yourself was so passionate, and it showed those images of her thinking about her father and not giving him too measly kisses. She felt guilt for not doing something very small. So her last thoughts were not about herself. They were about just loving her father. She was concerned about her father. Back when she made that phone call, it was like the first thing she said, "I'm okay." She was afraid her father, might have been worrying about her. And I can definitely sympathize with that. I miss it. But I'm sorry. But it's just like that young prince that was captured by King Cyrus, king of Persia. Jan, she didn't care about being a princess. Being a princess, just like he didn't care about being a prince as much as just having, love for his family. And the thing that I think that movie should have been about, Lelaine, is that, it's better to be an extraordinary daughter than be nothing more than an ordinary princess, And you did a really good job in that movie, and I really appreciate that. You're a blessing to me, And Lelaine, I'm going to pray for you every day, and I know you're going to be a big success in your career and everything, but just always remember, the most important thing is to be an extraordinary daughter and an extraordinary sister and an extraordinary friend to the people closest to your family than it is to, have fame and wealth and power, and I know you're going to be a success through your career, but that should always be secondary, and just try to have an extraordinary love for the people close to you, and thank you again, Lelaine, for for sending that message, and I really, really appreciate you, and I'm going to keep on praying for you every single day. And God bless you, beautiful and lovely Delane. Talk to you later.